Aquarius, hello there, my beautiful friends. We're going to do your general tarot reading for mid February 2026. Thank you so much for joining me today. You know, I appreciate each and every single one of you. So let's get right down to business as always and start you off with an oracle card here, just so we can dip our toes in the energy and see what's happening for the lovely Aquarius collective. I hope you're all doing fabulous and fantastic, my friends. Let's get it going. My guide, spirit team, talk to me. What do we got for the beautiful Aquarius collective in Aquarius season? What energies, messages, insights can we take a little peek at? And yeah, we're just going to take a real quick look at this first card. Then we'll get into the full reading itself. And at the very end, I'll pull you a bonus card from the Shadowland Tarot just to see what might be in the shadows or what shadow work you can lean into, which is always interesting. But let's get it going here. Let's rock and see what we got for Aquarius, please. Let's get this card out nice and quick. And while I do, I just want to wish you all a very happy birthday from me to you. Whether it's already passed, whether it's still coming up, I really hope you had a happy birthday. And happy Valentine's Day. So you're getting all the well wishes here, my beautiful Aquarius friends. So let's get it going. Cool. Yeah, this is a very much pushing forward type of energy we have here in the front, which I do like. It's like looking to the horizon. It's looking to what's coming up next. There is a little tinge of aggression behind it. Nothing wrong with that, right? So we're going to have to see how it plays. It's just a very strong energy whenever I see it come out. Now, before I fully dive into that, if you're new here, I'll be speaking about the February subscriber surprise towards the end, so you might want to check that out. And also, if you could kindly illuminate that like button by tapping it right on its third eye, you know I'd greatly appreciate it. But enough of the promo, back into the reading. Let's talk more in depth about this card. So as you can see, we have this strong feminine figure. She's kind of dressed in like partial battle armor, pointing off in the distance. We have like this pinkish etheric background. It just feels very strong to me. It feels like an explorer too, where it's like, this is where I'm heading. So for a lot of Aquariuses, maybe that's just the mode you're in, where it's like, yep, I'm looking forward. I'm looking at where this can go. Now, I always say in life, you know, we experience time in a linear fashion. You know, sometimes we're thinking about the past a lot. Sometimes we're thinking about our current situation. This could be advice from spirit where it's like, maybe look ahead here, Aquarius, and there's nothing wrong with that. Now, if we put that to the side, if we're not talking about planning in the future, this card to me just has a certain strength to it where it's like, this is the way, this is my way, and this is the way that we're going to go. So just know, like, you might have a lot of extra energy within you. It does feel very fiery, like the Chariot to me. So just know, like, there's a certain intensity I'm picking up in the Aquarius reading. So that could be a good thing if you could harness it, but at the same time, this energy could get a little wild. But we're just going to let her chill right there. I like how it looks for future things. So I'm not going to get in her way. Let's get into tarot. And yeah, I always say that first card, it doesn't make or break the reading. It's just a little footnote. So let's get you 3 tarot cards in the upright. Then we'll get into that intuitive juiciness. Shuffle it up one time here for Aquarius. What do we got? And while we get this deck shuffled up and ready to go, let's talk about last week's reading. Very positive. It was titled The Massive Win. Now, I always say wins, victories, they come in all different shapes and sizes. Maybe you just had some really good days. Maybe it was a monetary, a work one, personal relationships. To me, it felt like a great energy rolling in. So if it didn't happen yet, that energy could bleed over for a couple weeks, because I'll tell you this, you had really great energy coming in for multiple weeks in a row. So we're going to see what shows up this week. As you know, energy is very fluid, never set in stone. So only take this how it hits for you, because we could be seeing your vibe or somebody else, right? Let's get it going. 3 cards for Aquarius. What do we got in mid-February? What do we got for our good friends? Cool. Queen of Wands. Very similar. So remember I was saying like the fiery, the confident, it's the same thing. Okay. We're going to keep it moving here, but I like this Queen of Wands initially. All right, because you know those Wands cards, they could get a little wild sometimes. Let's get her tucked in right there. Let's get 2 more. What do we have for Aquarius? Mid-February, please. The Tower. Here's the intensity, Aquarius. And again, Tower's intensity, that doesn't have to be a bad thing, but the intensity is all over the place. Let's get one more. One more here for Aquarius. 8 of Wands, the intensity. All of them. All of the cards have the underlying fire within it, which I think for a lot of you could be really great, especially if you have somewhere to put this energy. That's the big thing. Something here about energy levels in general too. But let's go through. I'll give you some of the classical meanings and archetypes, and we'll get into that juicy intuitive stuff. But at first glance, you know, I always like to look at the elements first. So I feel like it tells us the area of life that could be important, or just how the energy's flowing and moving. And I've already been commenting on how intense every card, including the Oracle, has been. And these all live up to it. So we have the Eight of Wands and the Queen of Wands on the extreme ends. That's fire energy. And I always say when it comes to fire, that's the realm of action. So whether it's the actions we take, the actions we want to take, the actions other people take, it's our internal motor, it's our passion, our drive, our desire. So it's literally energy levels. So for some of you, yeah, maybe you're bursting at the seams with energy or something that you want to do. It's like I wake up with an extra pep in my step. Or for some of you, maybe you're tired, right? Like it could go the extreme other way, as with every other card, where it's like, all right, maybe you're not so energetic. Maybe your energy is a little low. But hopefully, this energy is going to be improving if your energy is low, especially with all of this. Um, Another thing with fire, the real downside to it isn't just the energy fluctuations, it's the fact that fire can be explosive. And I've seen that through all the air signs this week. Whereas there's this energy that could either intensify rather quickly, where there's just this powerful, consistent intensity. In the center, we have water. Now, the good thing about water is it's the emotional realm. And I know the tower looks like fire and brimstone, but elementally it is Scorpio, it is water energy. And that's the emotional realm. So the things, the people that we care deeply for, it could be artistic abilities, artistic creativity, thinking outside of the box, even with issues. I like when water is there because it kind of tones this intensity back here a little bit. The big, and again, it also ties into connections, but the big downside when it comes to the tower, or not the tower, the water energy, is the ebb and flow. So that's the thing that's consistent. So we have the energy that's in, it's out, it's hot, it's cold, it's up and down, it's intense, it's low. These are the themes that we're seeing in a big way. Let's go through and start building this out piece by piece. Position number one, we got the Queen of Wands. Now, for a portion of you, maybe you have a fire sign placement, Aries, Leo, Sagittarius. Maybe you're connected to a fire sign. Remember, it's not gender specific. And I always say with all the queens, they represent the internal aspect of their suit. We already went pretty heavily into detail about the fire element. And the queen is that internal burn within us. She does tie heavily into self confidence, how you treat yourself, how you look at yourself. She is beautiful, confident, sexy type of energy. So for some Aquariuses, if you're sitting in this Queen of Wands energy, it's attractive, it's magnetic, it feels like it's at the top of its game. So for a lot of you, this is really beautiful. There could be something about aesthetics too. So some of you might be getting the urge in the short term to maybe change something about your look, change the wardrobe, change my body, change whatever. It's like I'm changing how I present myself when I see the Queen of Wands. Now, the downside to her, she can also be, aside from the explosive energy overall, the Queen of Wands can sometimes beat herself up a little too much. This could be an energy that's a little too hard on itself. So I think self love and self care should be top priority for a lot of Aquariuses in this time, especially with her. Where it's like, listen, I get it. We could all be hard on ourselves sometimes, but um, if you're not going to be in your own corner, who is, right? So we'll circle back on her. She could be actually be really good for us here because she's starting with that fire. Now, moving into the middle is the part that I am most intrigued about so far. We have the tower. Now, again, for some of you, maybe it's a Scorpio you're connected to. Maybe you have Scorpio placements. And we see the imagery. It doesn't look too nice, right? Like we have the fire and brimstone. We got the lightning. We got people falling out of the damn tower. And it's like, how can that be nice? And I will say this, the tower is an energy of shock, right? So whether it's like something that pops in out of the blue, something that completely blindsides you. But one thing I always say about the tower is that not every tower is a bad tower. It could just be the intensity of energy that we're speaking about. Because with the tower, if it's action, it happens quick, it happens fast. It's like, boom, it's just something that happens, whether we're prepared for it or whether we're not. So a lot of times a tower can be a good one if it is a shift, if it is a change, because that's another thing with this card. It's karmic. It could speak about transformation. It could speak about change. And normally this is either very intense or very quick. So for a lot of Aquariuses, you could be going through a very intense period of change, or there's something karmic showing up here. But we'll see. We'll look and see what the flavor of this tower is. Like, is it one that I should be nervous about, or is it okay? And it could sometimes represent hitting the reset button. But on the back end, we have the Eight of Wands, where, I mean, the intensity tones back a little bit. This one is more focused in on communication. And you see the imagery there. It's 8 arrows cutting through the sky. I like to call them arrows because that's what it feels like. You ever see in movies where you have all the archers and they shoot like a cloud of arrows? That's what this is to me. and it's quick. So if it's a conversation, a communication, a message, it's boom, boom, back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. Either it's a lot of people being chit chatty or people hitting you up, like your phone might blow up a lot more than usual when this is here, where it's something around communication that we want to look into further. Now, if it's not communication, we're back into the realm of the fiery action, where there might be urges, there might be temptations. Like, I'm not going to say you're going to fly off the handle, but the Eight of Wands is quick. So when I look at the energy as a whole, it's like this energy builds up, builds up, builds up. Its confidence, its fire, and then it lets loose. There's like this focused letting loose of energy that I'm picking up. So I want to dive deeper on all of it, Aquarius. Let's do it. Let's jump in and clarify. Okay, let's get a good shuffle here. What's happening for Aquarius here, please? I think you had a tower like a few weeks ago too. Let's see. And yeah, this is where I go intuitive with the message, which means I just tell you how it feels to me. So feel free to do further research or rely on your base knowledge of tarot. Because as you know, every single reading is about the reader's interpretation, and I'm just giving you mine. Let's go in on the Queen of Wands. And if you're a reader yourself, please feel free to play along. That's why the box is here. If you're feeling any messages you want to give to Aquarius, you could drop it in the comments. I don't mind at all. Okay, Queen of Wands, talk to me. Talk to me. There we go. Okay. This is a very insistent, unpredictable type of energy. So we have the Hierophant in reverse, and this could be great for a lot of you. Honestly, like if you are in a period of transformation and change, whether it's spiritual, whether it's about the mindset, whether it's how you treat yourself, or any situation you're dealing with, the Hierophant in reverse is very similar to the Tower to me, because usually the Hierophant, it's grounded, it's planted, it's rigid, it's very traditional type of energy. In reverse, underneath the Queen of Wands is like, I got to do something. I got to change this. I got to change it now. So we're already seeing the shift of energy. We're already seeing the transformation. So to me, it feels like it's well underway. Um, but this energy could do a little too much. So in this time, I think it's important, regardless of whatever it is, whether it's work, personal relationships, anything, where it's like, yeah, no, action is good, change is good, but pace yourself. There could also be something that spirit really wants you to be patient with, whether it's being patient with yourself or a process, because the energy shifting and changing and building up and it's intense. There's a lot here. Okay, so for some Aquariuses, maybe you're just dealing with a lot of things. It's very possible. But the energy is like, pace yourself. Just pace yourself. You don't have to do it all at once. Step by step by step. I don't know why that's coming through, but it is. The Hierophant in reverse under the Queen of Wands is also a very, very hyper unique energy as well. Which Aquarius, I mean, that's one of the things people say about Aquarius, right? They don't like being cookie cutter individuals. Aquariuses are very individualistic, but also care about the collective as a whole, unique people. Let's keep going. So we're already seeing tons of shifting, changing energy. But let's go in on the Tower. Yeah, there is this energy about pacing yourself. So why is the Tower here? Why is the Tower here for my good friends? Good. Okay. I mean, don't get nervous about this, okay? We got the Death card in the upright underneath this Tower. I don't think this is anything to be too nervous about, because these cards do mirror each other. They're very similar. And it's like, there's no need to rush something because it's already underway. That's what I'm intuitively feeling off of this Aquarius, where it's like, there's no need to rush it because it's already energetically on its way or happening. So you take that and you apply it to whatever it is you might be going through, or whatever it is you're wanting, or whatever it is you're working on. To me, it feels like something that's already well underway here. Now, the Death card, highly karmic. I will say this, all these three cards together, they are spiritual, they're very karmic, and I know that's like a big topic in and of itself. Some people don't even believe in karma, where, yeah, it can be like you reap what you sow, what you put forth, you get back in return. That could definitely be the case. But karma does also speak about the big picture, our life's journey, our life's mission, our life's transformation. So there is this really strong karmic undertone here that tells me, for a lot of Aquariuses, or most Aquariuses, the chapter of life that you're experiencing right now, you were meant to experience, whether it's boring, whether it's hectic, whether it's wild, whether it's the greatest time of your life. There's something about the situations you're dealing with, or the place you are right now, that will help mold you for the future like you were meant to. So whether it's a karmic situation, connection, I don't care what it is. Like, you're meant to experience it. That's just the vibe I'm picking up. very heavy scorpionic energy right up the center. Okay, especially with the death card. Now, if we were to get grim, if we were to get pessimistic, does the tower and the death card represent an ending? Yes, it sure can. But just on an intuitive sense, on intuitive level, it's not leading me there, which I mean might sound odd to some of you, but I like to read intuitively. Like this doesn't make me nervous. Like I'm not like the hairs on my neck aren't standing up. But let's go in on the Eight of Wands. It could be something that's already closed out for some of you, but let's see what's up with the Eight of Wands. Then we'll do a quick little recap before we get into the shadow. So why is the Eight of Wands here? Okay. Okay. So we have the Seven of Swords in the upright underneath this Eight of Wands. And this is just like completely out of the blue. Now, if we look at this in the classic term, in the classic sense, the Eight of Wands and the Seven of Swords can represent someone that tells a lot of stories. It could represent someone that's like very slippery with their words. It could even represent liars. So I will, just for the sake of, putting it out there for the Aquariuses here, just watch who you're talking to and what they're saying and how they're saying it, because this is an energy where it's like, I'm not sure if I buy that. Now, for some of you, you could be more skeptical than you normally are in this time. But in a more optimistic sense, the Eight of Wands with the Seven of Swords, to me, could be like a surprising talk, an unexpected one, or just one that comes in out of the blue. Because the swords, especially the Seven of Swords, doesn't always represent thieves and people that are not too savory. The Seven of Swords could just represent something that's not on our map. Like that's not on our radar. It's not on my map. So Eight of Wands, Seven of Swords, it's like, oh, are we talking about this? I wasn't expecting to talk to you. I wasn't expecting to talk about this. So there is this like unexpected, surprising energy around a talk, message, or communication. But at the same time, just watch anyone, watch their words. I would say compare their words and actions. That's always a good thing I default to. Um, if you don't really trust what someone's telling you, if you don't really trust what they say, like their actions will tell you the truth 9 times out of 10. So just compare words and actions. But this could be a whole side thing. This could be something totally different. But let's go through and do a quick recap. Then we'll get into the shadows. So we got changes, we got shifting energy, we got intensity, we got karmic, we got things closing, things opening. There's so much stuff here, Aquarius. But position number one, we start with the Queen of Wands and the Hierophant in reverse underneath it. Now, I love the uniqueness to it. I love this energy that's like, yeah, I got to change something, so let's do it. But there is something that Spirit wants you to pace yourself with, or be kind to yourself. It's like, pace yourself. You don't have to do it all at once. In the center, we have the Tower with the Death card. It's like, yeah, it's something's going to go down anyway. Like whether you're trying or whether you're not, it's like the energy's heading your way anyway. I also got this strong energy that either this is a big karmic change where you might be going into a new cycle, or the situation you're dealing with could be karmic in nature where you were meant to experience what you're experiencing now. So whether it was it's a boring time, a good time, a difficult time, a good time, karma isn't always bad, but there's something right now that's very transformational for your journey forward. On the back end, we have the Eight of Wands with the Seven of Swords. There is this energy of skepticism around the words that somebody's saying to me. So I always say, watch words and actions. That'll tell you the truth. If the words and actions don't line up, then you got your answer. But there is also this energy around a surprising or unexpected talk or message coming in that's just completely out of left field, completely out of the blue. So please take a screenshot if you want to look into it further. Let's see what's in the shadows. And yes, I always like to pull a shadow card at the very end just to see whether it's something within you or something you don't quite see. Shadow cards don't always have to be a challenge. They could be a good thing. So let's get you one. And yeah, if you made it to this point in the reading, please feel free to check out channel memberships. I'll put a link for it in the comments below. It's a beautiful way to support the channel, and I have much love for all my channel members. Okay, let's get your shadow card, my good friends. What do we got? What do we got? There we go. Thank you. Hermit. Okay, cool. I mean, the Hermit isn't as intense or wild or transformational as all this energy that we've been picking up since the beginning. The Hermit is Virgo energy, and usually it's retracted, pulled back, hush hush, quiet type of energy, which isn't a bad thing. Now, the good thing about the Hermit, it's wise. It uses its experiences to help move it forward. So when I see the Hermit, if you're not in Hermit mode right now, which some of you might just be a little more solitary hermit mode. I'm integrating a lot of stuff. Nothing wrong with that. Um, I love the wisdom and the lessons that the hermit can pull out of any situation. That's the good thing we have here. But it can also represent an energy that kind of just drops off the map. Okay, so watch out for communication issues. Watch out for a lot of questions, a lot of guessing. It's like, what's going on? What's going on? What's going on? The hermit is in solitude, and that's another thing too. Watch out for longing and missing someone as well. But we're just going to put them down right there, my good friends. That's what I have for you this week. Don't click away just that, though. I'm going to give you the details of the February subscriber surprise. If you would like further insight on your situation, you could book a personal reading with me at my website, mastermetaphysics.com, so we could have a little chat. My February calendar is up, so go check that out. They usually go pretty quick. But for the February subscriber surprise, we're doing a nice different style this month. We're doing a winner's choice. So the winners, which will be 3, will have their choice of the Tarot of the Owls, the Gilded Tarot Royale, or a handmade crystal pendant from my shop, mastermetaphysics.com, once again. So if you'd like to get your name in for this, it's 2 simple things. As always, my friends, first, you must be subscribed. And second, let me know down in the comments, out of all the cards we saw in this week's reading, which one caught your attention the most, whether it really inspired you or hit you right in your feelings. Anyone that stood out to you, and you'll be entered to win. And at the end of the month, the winners will be announced in my community tab. As always, my friends, much love, and I'll see you soon.